It's Monday, December 9, and this is your Barbados Today Evening News Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Prime Minister Mottley today called for a renewal of the African, Caribbean and Pacific Group to meet the challenges of a changing global environment. Mottley told the opening ceremony of the grouping's 9th summit in Kenya, being held under the theme, A Transformed ACP Committed to Multilateralism, that rapid economic growth and the looming climate change crisis demand change.
We can forge an international organization that is suited to our future. We, the members of the ACP, must function on our own terms, not on the terms set by others. Now is the moment where we have a platform to be a common regulatory space, to uphold common minimum standards of human rights, law, business, environmental standards, to be a space of easier mobility of ideas, culture, people, goods, services, and capital. These are the main economic weapons of today, not the size and direction only of official assistance and aid. The ACP cannot be a force for global good unless we collectively own that change. And we all know that lasting and sustainable change, resilient change, cannot be alien, cannot be imposed from outside, cannot reflect standards that we don't own. Lasting change must come from within.
Mottley also called on the 79-nation grouping to consider developing a vulnerability index to better determine how countries should have access to concessional loans and other forms of assistance.
We can forge an international organization that is suited to our future. We, the members of the ACP, must function on our own terms, not on the terms set by others. Now is the moment where we have a platform to be a common regulatory space, to uphold common minimum standards of human rights, law, business, environmental standards, to be a space of easier mobility of ideas, culture, people, goods, services, and capital. These are the main economic weapons of today, not the size and direction only of official assistance and aid. The ACP cannot be a force for global good unless we collectively own that change. And we all know that lasting and sustainable change, resilient change, cannot be alien, cannot be imposed from outside, cannot reflect standards that we don't own. Lasting change must come from within.
The Barbados Port Inc. has embarked on a mentoring program which officials are hoping will help to transform the border facility into a first-class one. Beginning January 13, 2020, about 30 of the close to 500 workers in the port's cargo and cruise operations will be paired with mentors who will help to enhance their skills. Chairperson of the Barbados Port Inc., Senator Lisa Cummins, says the port must improve its operations in several areas, and she believes the program will have a positive effect.
We are currently struggling with our rankings in trading across border. It takes us longer to do everything than nearly every port except one in the entire region. It is more expensive to do everything in this port than it is to do it in most other ports in the region. We are committed to driving costs down, driving the time it takes to do everything down by investing in training, upskilling, the provision of equipment to be able to provide those key services to our workforce, and of course, incorporating innovation into everything that we do.
Government will not be giving up on its unemployed youth. This assurance from Labour Minister Colin Jordan as he addressed the start of a training workshop for 60 youth under the government's Job Start Plus program at the Warren's office complex. He says his ministry is expected to train more than 3,500 young people annually under the initiative.
Too many of our young people leave school without certification. That causes sometimes older people to say that some of you have wasted your time in school. Our position as a government, and my position as minister responsible for labor, is that we have to give opportunities to our young people. Even if you've wasted time in school, we are not giving up on you. We are going to provide opportunities where you can redeem yourselves.
Minister Jordan said youth unemployment is a challenge for countries including Barbados, noting that there were over 14,000 young people in the workforce, and of that figure, 29.3% of them were unemployed. He said a major stumbling block for youth seeking to enter the job world was a lack of work experience.
Getting jobs is not easy. Not easy in this environment. We are working to change that. But what makes it a bit more difficult for young people is the fact that you don't have any work experience. So almost every job you see advertised, there is a requirement for some kind of work experience. And what young people have been telling me is that, you want me to be working, but every job asks for work experience, but I don't have any work experience. Nobody is giving me the opportunity to get the work experience. And that has caused many of our young people, many of the country's young people, to be frustrated.
Police are continuing investigations into the discovery of a male body at sea this morning. Coast Guard officials recovered the body in the area of Needham's Point, St. Michael.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for crop over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news now in the Bahamas. The acting health minister Jeffrey Lloyd has announced a ban on sugary beverages as the country continues to lead the region in type 2 diabetes and non-communicable diseases.
Will be banned at and from all Ministry of Health functions and events, including all of its premises, its headquarters, attending properties, all public hospitals, all public community clinics, teaching institutions, library, and health councils. Additionally, the promotion of these beverages for campaigns at functions, as well as in or on said premises, is also prohibited.
Further afield in New Zealand, 8 people are presumed dead after a volcano unexpectedly erupted off the coast of North Island. More than 5 people were confirmed dead and 30 others injured. The details from this report from Reuters Television.
New Zealand scrambled to save people caught in a deadly volcano eruption on Monday. One tourist posted video of his escape by boat sailing past a massive cloud of ash. Several people were injured while others have been reported missing in the eruption. Rescuers were racing to save those caught up in the event. At emergency sites on the mainland, people were wheeled off on stretchers. Officials have confirmed many were tourists visiting White Island. The volcano there is one of New Zealand's most active. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern voiced sympathy for the victims.
We know that there were a number of tourists on or around the island at the time, both New Zealanders and visitors from overseas. I know there will be a huge amount of concern and anxiety for those who have loved ones on or around the island at the time, and I can assure them police are doing everything they can.
An official from Royal Caribbean Cruises confirmed passengers from the Ovation of the Seas cruise ship were touring the island on Monday. When its volcano erupted, experts say it threw an ash plume 12,000 feet into the sky. However, the country's geological agency called the eruption short-lived and said there were no signs of an escalation.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.